Good, happy Monday evening and happy Labor Day, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Senator Sanders at Concord's Labor Day rally. Perilous times call for all fight back. Independent Senator and Vermonter Bernie Sanders made a campaign-like swing into New Hampshire on Monday, making an appearance at a Manchester breakfast event and Concord rally on Labor Day. Sanders, a candidate in the latest presidential election, served up his message for inclusion, equality, and civil rights to people spread out on the grass at Rollins Park in Concord. Sanders spoke at two events in New Hampshire ahead of two planned appearances in his home state Vermont Monday. The Concord rally was put on by the group Rights and Democracy. RAD member Nikki Casey of Manchester said the rally was about wrapping up their summer campaign dedicated to trans rights, the LGBT community, working families, the environment, public education. We're just here as a collective working on these issues to get people involved in a grassroots level and trying to win the election. People began gathering in a semicircle in the middle of the park early Monday morning. Wearing a flag of Argentina like a Cape Bloody Mover of Concord said, "We're all supporting and melting pot. That is America." Her friend Matt donned a Israel flag. About midday, Sanders was preceded by attorney and executive counsel Andrew, who rallied the blossoming crowd on issues including transgender rights and bringing up the minimum wage to $15 an hour. True to those themes and what he called a progressive agenda, Sanders took a small podium to an enthusiastic crowd, many of whom had waited hours to see him and hear him speak. Sanders weighed raging messages, including the topics of health care, climate change, and minimum wage. On the subject of big energy companies, Sanders said our job is to tell that industry their short-term profits are not more important than the future of our planet. Let's stand up to the fossil fuel industry. Closer to home, the subject of opioid addiction, he called for the reformation of criminal justice system. He called on people to keep our eyes on the prize, with elements of that prize being the creation of economic that works for all and ending the abuse level of income and wealth inequality. In a nod to trade unions at the Labor Day event, Sanders said, "When people come together and stand up together, there is nothing that we can't accomplish." Sanders made pointed remarks towards President Donald Trump during his lengthy speech. Sanders' remarks were true to those made during his presidential drive to the White House, and those in the crowd were not blind to the Concord event, perhaps being linked to potential posturing for 2020 by the independent senator. Looking ahead to the next presidential election and whether Sanders would make a run, Eisentender said, "We'll see. It's still early. I think there's a groundswell of people getting interested in politics. I don't care until I found that ignorance win. Now I want to take the power back, I guess." And that does it for my news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday evening and have a great rest of your last hour of Labor Day. Good night, everyone. Bye.